I've always had a passion for helping people. My dad's a diabetic, and I was really interested in the way people live and how their health affects, everything about their lives. So I've always wanted to work with people, and I always really enjoyed health. I was working at a summer camp in Nova Scotia. When the summer was over, the week after, I went back to my grandparents' house. And I woke up and I felt terrible. And I was like, there's something really wrong and I don't know what's happening. And my parents didn't know what was happening. We drove 40 minutes to the hospital. By that time I was getting worse. I got ambulanced to an entire another hospital 2 hours away. In the ambulance I got the sore neck and headache. And they're like, okay, so it's probably meningitis, and it just went downhill from there. I don't really remember anything until a week later, because I was in a coma. I went from being sick to being critical in less than 12 hours. It's really quick, which is why it's so deadly, because people think it's a flu. When they realize it's something more, then it's too late.
Meningitis is a rare but serious disease where the lining around the brain becomes infected and inflamed, resulting in serious illness. Meningitis can be caused by viruses and bacteria. One of the bacteria that causes meningitis is called meningococcus, and meningococcus bacteria can be divided into several groups, including A, B, C, W, and Y, which are responsible for most cases of meningitis in Canada. When this gets passed on through coughing or sneezing or saliva and crosses into the bloodstream or into the brain, it can cause very serious infection with oftentimes long-term consequences.
So you can see that's the septicemia, and I do look pretty swollen still. A lot of the bigger ones that I have on my legs are still scars to this day. This part of my toe, actually, I had to get taken off the top part because, as you can see, the sepsis was so bad. It didn't feel real. It felt like I was kind of in this weird dream state, and it was really painful. It was tough. It was tough. I had strain B, which is the most common strain of meningitis. I didn't know a lot about it. When you're 16, you aren't thinking about things like that. You're just a teenager, you're living your life. But obviously when I came out and I was like, how could I have prevented getting to this point here?
Vaccinating is by far the most important measure we can take to protect children from meningitis. It's important to remember that there is no single vaccine that protects against all strains of meningitis. In Canada, we vaccinate against meningitis C within the first year of life. And the second opportunity for vaccination is then through school-based program where, depending on the province or territory, children are either vaccinated against meningitis C or receive a quadrivalent vaccine against meningitis A, C, W, and Y. The meningitis B vaccine is newer. This one was more difficult to develop, but now is available. However, it is currently not funded through public funding and has to be purchased. We encourage parents to talk to your healthcare provider, go through the vaccination record of your child to find out which vaccine your child has received and which vaccines are available.
I had a 5% chance of surviving the night, and I did. And it was, that was miraculous. But that's not everybody. People shouldn't have to go through that if it's something that can be prevented by something simple as a needle. During this season right now, I know that there's a lot of fear when it comes to going in to see your doctor, if you've got a health concern, or if there's something that's troubling you. But I want to encourage people that despite fear, your own health and your own children's health matter. Doctors' offices, clinics, hospitals are doing everything they can to keep people safe.
By not vaccinating children on time, we run the risk of exposing these children to infections that are actually vaccine-preventable, as well as losing herd immunity. It is therefore extremely important that children, especially young infants who require many of these immunizations, stay immunized.
I have a job that I really enjoy. I love getting to work with people, so I'm very lucky and I'm very thankful for my life now. My hope is that as many people as possible get vaccinated, but also that people are just more aware of it. It's important for me to keep talking about it. It makes going through something like this worthwhile, because then that means that people are aware and people are taking care of themselves and their kids.